was a leader, an author, a soldier, a father, a husband. Many call him JFK. Others may call him Jack. But amidst all of these titles, he remains the same person, the 35th President of the United States, John F. Kennedy. John Fitzgerald Kennedy was born on May 29, 1917, in Brooklyn, Massachusetts. He was Joseph and Rose Kennedy's second child out of 9. The Kennedys were an extremely wealthy Irish Catholic family. As a teenager, Kennedy participated in many sports despite his health issues. He wasn't the best student in high school, but his favorite subjects were English and history. It was during his time at Harvard where he began to grow an interest in politics. After graduating from Harvard, Kennedy joined the Navy with his older brother Joe and fought in World War II. When the war ended, he pondered about his future, and his father suggested politics. JFK wound up being elected as a U.S. representative for the 11th Congressional District in Boston, and also became a U.S. Senator from Massachusetts. On September 12, 1953, he married Jacqueline Lee Bouvier. JFK had many health problems. He had Addison's disease and also had major issues with his back. While recovering from a back operation that nearly killed him, Kennedy wrote Profiles in Courage, a novel that won the Pulitzer Prize for Biography in 1957. He is the only president thus far that has won a Pulitzer Prize.
I think Mr. Nixon is an effective leader of his party. I hope he would grant me the same. The question before us is, which point of view and which party do we want to lead the United States?
Mr. Nixon, would you like to comment on that statement? I have no comment. The next question, Mr. Novin.
The first ever nationally televised debate of 1960. Kennedy appeared youthful and glamorous. Nixon paled in comparison. Although it was an extremely close race, Kennedy came out victorious as the 35th President of the United States.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
It was what they called the Camelot era. During his presidency, Kennedy only appointed the best and the brightest. In the eyes of the people, the Kennedy family were like movie stars. JFK did many things during his 1,000 days as president. He established the Peace Corps, which allowed for better relationships with other nations and cultures. There was the brutally unsuccessful Bay of Pigs invasion, where Cuban exiles under CIA training attacked Cuba. JFK also expanded the U.S. space program in response to the space race with the Soviet Union. Man would be landing on the moon by the end of the decade.
We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
And who could forget the Cuban Missile Crisis, the subject of the movie 13 Days, which we all just watched in class.
The purpose of these bases can be none other than to provide a nuclear strike capability against the Western Hemisphere.
Civil rights was also a major issue during JFK's presidency. Riots in places such as Birmingham, Alabama ensued. Kennedy supported the civil rights movement. but they didn't pass any civil rights legislations due to lack of support from Southern legislatures.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, some 38 minutes ago.
November 22nd, 1963. JFK had arranged a trip to Texas to campaign for the upcoming election. 2 bullets, one on the neck and a second through the head, shot by the man named Lee Harvey Oswald. Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson was immediately sworn into presidency on Air Force One. The world mourned over the death of the president.
Mrs. Eisenhower and I share the grief that Mrs. Kennedy must now feel. And we send to her our prayerful thoughts and sympathetic sentiments in this hour.
A gentle reminder from his mother, and John celebrates his 3rd birthday with a soldier's farewell to his father.
The JFK Library. The countless movie adaptations. John F. Kennedy's legacy lives on. His youth, vigor, and charisma makes him one of the most memorable presidents of all time. Of course, there are many more things about JFK that I would love to talk about, like his relationship with Bobby Kennedy and his older brother Joe, his interview with Eleanor Roosevelt, and how Bill Clinton had met him as a youngster, and the whole Marilyn Monroe thing. But that's another story.